Again, a very good morning to all of you. And today we have to start a new chapter, chapter number 6, supply chain management, right? So we have completed a rather lengthy, actually the lengthiest lesson that you will be the, learning about in this digital business course module. So we have completed that during last session. So from this session onwards, we will be starting on the new chapter, chapter number 6, supply chain management. So first of all, let me share with you my screen. I hope you have downloaded the correct set of slides. There was a little bit of modification to be done for the slides. So please download the latest version which is available on LMS, right? Okay, so supply chain management. So before we start off with the lesson, the supply chain management concept is something which we have talked about in several places along digital business course module as well as in your MIS course module, right? So first of all, I want you all to tell me what do you mean by supply chain, right? Before going to supply chain management, just give me a brief idea about what you mean by a supply chain, because you should have a fairly good understanding about what a supply chain is by now, because we have repeatedly talked about this concept over and over at various locations through our course. So can you all quickly tell me what is your understanding of a supply chain? What do you mean by a supply chain? Yes. If you all can maybe send a message telling me about your understanding of what is a supply chain. So if you don't talk, we will be stuck in this slide only, right? We won't be able to proceed forward. So you better send me what is your understanding of supply chain. It doesn't have to be perfect, just what do you think a supply chain is? Maybe what sort of parties are involved in a supply chain? Can be anything. Just tell me anything that you know about a supply chain. Right. So we have a reply saying sequence of delivering a product or service to the end customer from the manufacturer. Okay. Right. That is some idea of supply chain. Yes. So this constitutes to some basic functions of the supply chain, right? So, but when we talk about supply chain, it is more expanded or more elaborated in this particular chapter, right? So you might think that supply chain is how we deliver products from manufacturer to the customer in a general understanding. But when it comes to supply chain, it actually includes all sorts of resources and processes that are involved in delivering a product or a service from the point of origin to the point of consumption, right? So it's not only focusing on a product, it also includes a service as well. Service delivery could also be in a supply chain. Product delivery could also be in a supply chain. So when we say all the resources and processes involved in delivering a product or service to the consumer, end consumer. So within this process, you might come up with maybe information, maybe products, right? Maybe raw materials, maybe people, maybe organizations, right? Maybe other sub activities. So it's a collection of all these things combined together, which come in between the point of origin and the point of consumption, right? So have a general understanding that that is what we mean by a supply chain. It's not a perfect definition, but generally when we describe what a supply chain consists of, that is our understanding, right? Okay, so moving on. First, let's look at what are the learning outcomes that we are going to achieve through this chapter. So first, we are going to identify the main elements of supply chain management and their relationship to the value chain and value networks. So we are going to look at what are the main parts, main components of a supply chain, right? And also we are going to learn how they are related to the concept of value chain and value network. So you have already now learned about the value chain concept, and we will be looking at how this supply chain relates to this concept of value chain. We will also be talking about how supply chain relates to value networks, right? Then secondly, we are going to look at how to assess the potential of information systems to support the supply chain management and the value chain. That means here we will be talking about how information systems can be helpful in the process of supply chain management, how these information systems and digital applications can enhance the process of supply chain management and the value chain process, right? So you will be talking about these things in detail in the latter parts of this lecture, right? So first of all, let's have an introduction to the session. We are going to look at what is supply chain management. Now, I told you what supply chain means, right? So what do we mean by supply chain management? So supply chain management is essentially the optimization of material flows and associated information flows involved with an organization's operations, right? That means, now I told you that in the supply chain management process, there can be flows of information, there can be flows of material, maybe raw materials, maybe components, maybe parts, right? Those kinds of things. So how is an organization going to optimize these flows of material as well as flows of information is what we focus when we talk about supply chain management, right? So then second point talks about to manage these material and information flows, digital business applications are today essential. So that's quite self-explanatory, I think. So in order to manage these material and information flows effectively, to manage these flows well, in the current context, it has been crucial to get the support of digital business applications, right? Then third point, by applying information systems, companies can enhance or radically improve many aspects of the supply chain. So that means if an organization is able to apply these digital technologies and information systems technologies to their supply chain process, they have the ability of enhancing or radically or drastically making positive impacts on their supply chain process. So we will see how these digital business, how these digital technologies and information systems applications can help an organization to improve their supply chain activities in the coming slides, right? We will talk about these things in detail. Right. So moving on. Digital business technologies enable information flows to be redefined to facilitate the sharing of information between partners. That means now anyway there is an information flow when it comes to the supply chain process, right? There are information flowing from the supplier to the manufacturer to the distributors, wholesalers, retailers, customers, and also there's information flow coming from the point of customers back to the point of supply. So there is a flow of information, right? So by using digital business technologies, right, these information flows can be redefined, right? How? Often at lower cost than were previously possible. So these information flows which happen between different business partners can be done at a very lower cost than when than when those organizations use traditional supply chain processes or traditional supply chain techniques, right? So if you are able to get the help of digital technologies, and if you are able to incorporate them within your supply chain process of your organization, you are able to conduct these information flows at a very lower cost than what you used to in a traditional context. So the next point says much of the excitement generated by the digital business concept concerns the benefits that companies can achieve through increasing the efficiency of the whole supply chain. So that means why this digital business concept has gained much excitement when it comes to the supply chain domain, when it comes to the supply chain context. Why? It's because of the benefits that the companies can achieve by applying digital business concepts, right? So due to the benefits and the efficiency increases that organizations can achieve by using digital business concepts, organizations tend to increasingly trust or rely on these digital business concepts, and they try to increasingly incorporate these digital business concepts into their supply chain processes, into their business processes, right? So you will see as we move on towards the latter parts of this lecture how digital business concepts provide benefits for the organizations and how they can practically increase the efficiency of the organizations in terms of their supply chain management, right? Okay, so that's a little bit of an introduction to what we are going to talk about today, right? So now we move on to problems of supply chain management. Now here actually we focus on problems that organizations usually encounter when it comes to the traditional context of supply chain management, right? So before we directly move on to the problems, first let's have a look at a new concept, right? Called inventory turnover. So now I told you earlier also, increasing the supply chain efficiency is what an organization expects by applying these kinds of digital technology, digital business technologies or information systems, right? So what do we mean by increasing the supply chain efficiency? So organizations invest in information systems and they incorporate digital business technologies to their business in order to increase their supply chain efficiency. That we have understood. So what do you actually mean by increasing the supply chain efficiency? Right? So here it says increasing supply chain efficiency involves reducing the holding within inventory while maximizing sales. That means one aspect of increasing supply chain efficiency is to reduce the inventory holding of the company or reduce the stock, right? While stock that is held within the company while being able to maximize their sales, right? So how are organizations going to achieve this? So the next point says, inventory turnover is a helpful measure that is used by companies to evaluate their efficiency in handling inventory, right? So we understood that a way of increasing supply chain efficiency is to reduce the holding within inventory and maximizing the sale, right? So inventory turnover is a helpful measure that organizations usually use to evaluate how efficient they are in handling their inventory, right? Ultimately, we understood that if an organization efficiently handles their inventory, it's a way of increasing their supply chain efficiency. So inventory turnover is a measure which helps organizations to understand whether they are efficiently handling their inventory, right? I hope that's clear to you. On the third point, in individual companies, inventory turnover is used as a measure of the number of times inventory is sold or used in a time period such as a year. So how do you actually What kind of a measure is this inventory turnover? This point says that individual companies use this inventory turnover as a measure of the number of times inventory is sold or used within a given time period. That may be a year, it may be a quarter, it depends on the nature of the organization, depends on the on your requirement as well, right? So how many times your inventory is sold, or how many times you generate cash or generate a revenue uh, through your inventory, or how many times you are using your inventory within a given period of time. I think you have in detail talked about these concepts in your accounting modules in your degree program as well. So I am assuming that you have a fairly good understanding about the inventory turnover. So it further says it is calculated as the cost of goods sold divided by the average inventory. So if we look at how we calculate the inventory turnover, it's actually from the, we divide our cost of sales or the cost of goods sold by our average inventory. Average inventory means our inventory at the beginning of the period and the inventory at the end of the period. We add them together and we divide it by 2, you get the average inventory value, right? So a low turnover rate may indicate overstocking or difficulty in selling products at an acceptable rate. So when you calculate this inventory turnover figure, if you get a low turnover rate, it means that probably you have an issue of overstocking, that, or you have a high amount of inventory within your organization, but they have not moved out, they have not been generated to sales, right? So maybe your organization having difficulties in selling products at your expected price, right? On the other hand, so a low turnover rate is not appropriate. On the other hand, also a high turnover rate also is not good. Why? Because a high turnover rate may suggest inadequate inventory levels, which may lead to a loss in business as the inventory is too low. So if you have a high turnover rate, that is also not good, because that means your organization doesn't have sufficient stock. Your organization doesn't have sufficient inventory level to be sold. What does this mean? This means probably maybe your organization may be led to a loss in business. Because why? You don't have the enough inventory to cater to your demand, right? So your inventory is low, that means your sales are missed. Now your sales figure automatically comes down, right? Your sales become low because you don't have sufficient stock to be sold. So therefore, this inventory turnover is a helpful measure that organizations can use to look at how efficiently they are managing their inventory, right? So this inventory handling and inventory management is very important to achieve supply chain efficiency for an organization, which is why we are discussing this concept here, right? Okay, so that is why we say that inefficient inventory handling can be a serious problem when it comes to supply chain management, right? That is the importance of effectively and efficiently handling your inventory. Next, we move on to looking at certain cases or certain examples of how how problems in a traditional supply chain management context can be overcome by using digital technology, or by the help of supply chain management enabled by digital technology, right? So let's look at what this says. Using e-business technology to support supply chain management can help to avoid some problems that can occur in a supply chain. See table 6.1. So here we are going to look at a summary of the problems of supply chain management and how digital business technology can assist, right? So the next point says, this introduces many of the key concepts of technology-enabled supply chain management, right? So here we are going to look at certain concepts of technology enabled supply chain management. So if we look into the table, so the first problem in the traditional context that you usually face in a supply chain management environment is pressure to reduce costs of manufacturing and distributing products in order to remain competitive. So in a traditional environment, right, in a traditional supply chain management context, this pressure to reduce your organization's cost of manufacturing and cost of distribution is very high, right? In order to remain competitive, you need to offer your products at a, let's assume that if it's a price competitive environment that we are talking about, then essentially you have to offer your product at a lower price to your customers. So if you want to offer your products at a lower price to your customers, that means you have to be able to reduce your cost of production. You have to be able to reduce your cost of distribution, right? So it's a very tricky situation that organizations have to face. How are they going to reduce this cost of manufacturing and distribution? So now let's look at how digital technology helps organizations to mitigate this issue. So what does this say? Reduction in paperwork through electronic transmission of orders, invoices, and delivery notes. So by using certain technologies that are present within supply chain management process, you can reduce, a business can reduce the paperwork that they usually have to use within their supply chain management process. How do they reduce this paperwork? Through electronic transmission of orders, invoices, and delivery notes. So all this paperwork which will have to be transmitted here and there along the supply chain can be reduced through this electronic transmission. So there are so many electronic transmission technologies that are available at the present context, which enable an organization to reduce this paperwork, right? So the cost of this stationary costs and also this time that you have to invest in order to circulate all these paperwork through various business partners, all these things can be reduced, right? You can, maybe you are using a basic technological application such as an email, or you may be using an advanced technological application such as electronic data interchanges, right? So that is one way of how this contributes to reducing your cost of manufacturing. And also reduced inventory holdings needed through better understanding of demand, one thing. Also, when you are using these kinds of digital technologies, right, there's a better capacity for you to understand the demand that is arising from your consumer, right? Demand that is arising from your target group of customers, from the market, right? So if you have a better idea about the demand arising from your consumers, that means you do not have to overproduce, or you will not even want to underproduce. You have the exact information of demand, or you have a better or accurate vision of what the demand is. So with that information, the organizations, sometimes they are able to execute things such as make to order. We talked about make to order in previous sessions as well. So you produce only what is demanded. And also there's no overstocking of inventory. There's no overstocking of your finished goods, right? So in that way, once again, your production cost can be reduced. You do not have unnecessary capital, or you do not have unnecessary funds tied up in your inventory. And also there will not be at the end any obsolete products as well. That is an added advantage, right? So then reduce time for information and component supply across the supply chain. So when you have an effective communication line between your consumers, between your retailers, wholesalers, and your suppliers, right? So when there's a smooth line of communication, which is enabled by technology, which does not have any delays in between. You get real-time access to information, right? You get access to accurate information. So through these kinds of applications, so the time that is taken for information exchange as well as the time taken for component supply across the supply chain can be reduced, right? And then lower supply chain management system purchase and management costs through the use of online services. So now this online, so what do you mean by this? SaaS is software as a service. So there are so many supply chain management systems that are available online, which organizations can actually purchase. And when they purchase, they have the ability of purchasing only what they want, right? There are certain modules that the organization may not want, and some modules that the organizations may really want. So there are certain software providers online who actually provide these kinds of services, and the organization has the ability of paying a subscription fee and getting this service the way they want, right? Certain parts of supply chain management, some organizations may need and some organizations may not need. Now, applying digital technology to your supply chain management system does not mean that you are fully automating your supply chain, right? Some organizations may automate certain parts of your supply chain, or some organizations may apply a certain digital technology to a particular part of your supply chain. Maybe for the part where you communicate with your supplier. Maybe some organizations may establish effective communication between your organization and your wholesalers and distributors. So likewise, there are these kinds of online software systems that are available, which your organization can easily pay a subscription and gain access to, and they can help you to make your supply chain management system more effective and efficient, right? So when you purchase these kinds of online services, the outright cost that you have to pay is reduced, rather than establishing or rather than buying a full package of a supply chain management system. And also the cost of management is very low, because it's actually usually managed by these hosts of these services, because usually these kinds of services, they actually, we also call them cloud-based services sometimes, right? So these kinds of things are managed by a host, a separate host who is hosting, who is providing that software service, who is providing that information system service. So the organization there does not have to worry about managing this software, right? These management costs are often borne by the person who hosts this software on this online server or the cloud, right? So I hope that's clear to you. If anything is not clear, please let me know. I will explain more in detail. So another usual problem that we face in supply chain management is the demand forecasting, right? It's very difficult to gain an accurate idea of what is the demand from our consumers, what is the demand from our target market, right? So how can digital technology help us here? Sharing of demand by customers with suppliers as part of efficient consumer response, right? So when organizations implement these digital business technologies, they essentially focus on this strategy called ECR, or efficient consumer response. So what happens in efficient consumer response is you increase the level of consumer service, or you increase the level of customer support that you extend to your customer by increasing or by enhancing the coordinations between your suppliers, wholesalers, retailers, and other business partners, right? So by having a very good coordination between these kinds of different business partners, you can get a better idea about your consumer demand. For example, now your retailer knows, if you're managing a supply chain which is going through a wholesaler and a retailer and then a consumer, right? So your retailer knows what is the demand for your product in that particular region, right? Let's say you are a fast moving consumer goods seller, right? So let's say you are selling soap to a particular region, right? So the retail outlets in that particular region to which you are putting this soap, they can give you an idea about what is the consumer demand for your soap bar in that particular region, right? And also this retailer can communicate it with your wholesaling agent as well. And then from the wholesaler, maybe you can get the information. If you're not having a wholesaler, if it's directly from the retailer that you're reaching them through, if you have a good communication process with your retailer, still you can get a better idea of what your consumer demand is, right? So as well as there are ways how at the present the customer even can directly share about these details with the suppliers, right? So when you have a very good communication flow among these different parties along your supply chain, you can get a better idea about what your consumer demand is. If you're alert on what your consumer responses are, sometimes you may get this idea through the consumer feedback that you get, right? Positive and negative feedback. Maybe through the orders that your wholesalers place with your organizations. Likewise, if you have a good communication line, you can get a better idea about the demand arising from your target markets, right? And then third issue, failure to deliver products on time consistently or lack of items on shelf in retail. So this is also another issue. Your failure to deliver the products on the promised time, or the failure to deliver products on the time needed by the consumer. And also, when a consumer wants to purchase your products are not available on the supermarket shelves. So these are common problems in the traditional setting. So how can digital business help to overcome these issues? Supplier becomes responsible for item availability through vendor managed inventory, right? So that means in this case, your supplier who is making the products available on supermarket shelves, they become responsible for item availability. How? Item availability on supermarket shelves through vendor managed inventory. That means the vendor has the, through this system, they have the ability to look at how the inventory is moving, right? So when they have an idea about the speed at which the inventory is moving, they know when the stock levels are going down, at which point they should supply, right? At which point should they supply in order to avoid a stock out, right? So therefore, these kinds of strategies are heavily used by organizations such as Walmart, which we have talked about earlier as well, right? So that is one way of how digital technology can reduce this common issue. Then the next issue, failure to deliver or ship the correct product. So this is also a common problem. Now, usually if we consider a global scale businesses, shipping the wrong product or shipping the product, an incorrect product than what was ordered by the consumers, right? It may probably be caused by a human error, right? Maybe when packaging, maybe when coding the products, right? Maybe when selecting the products, there might be certain human errors, which leads to ultimately shipping the incorrect product to the end consumer, right? So how can this be reduced? So by using these digital technologies, human errors can be reduced because checks and balances can be built into system. That means when an order is placed by a consumer, the system itself has the ability of looking up the product ordered across their inventory list, right? Maybe by using the same product code, right? So the system has the ability of cross-checking the inventory availability and, whether approving whether it is available within your system, and then generating the order if the particular stock is available only, right? If the particular product code is available within your inventory, then the order will be generated and the correct product code will be cross-checked with the physical product, right? And these kinds of checks and balances can be automatically built in within the information system, so that a human doesn't have to interfere within the process, right? The system itself can cross-check the accuracy of these different products. Therefore, the human error that can happen may be reduced. So also by reducing the number of human interventions that can happen, this can be achieved as well. In a traditional setting, if you use several staff members in order to gain this order and to cross-check this with the inventory and to approve this order and to send it to packing and then finally approve the delivery. So there might be several people involved maybe, but by using digital technology, these kinds of human interventions can be reduced, right? The task that can be done by 2-3 people can be done by the system itself, so that the human error that can happen in between can be reduced, right? Then high inventory costs, another common problem in the supply chain management. So inventory reduced throughout the supply chain through better demand forecasting and more rapid replenishment of inventory. So how can you reduce the inventory cost? You can do it by reducing the inventory throughout the supply chain. How are you going to reduce the inventory? By better demand forecasting and more rapid replenishment of inventory. Now in the earlier 2 points also we talked about how by sharing this, by having a better idea of consumer demand, you can know at which point, or you can know the quantity that is demanded by the consumer, right? So that is one way. And also when you have an idea about the demand figure, we mentioned that you don't have to have excessive inventory and there will not be a high cost tied up within your inventory, right? And also faster replenishment of inventory. Now, for example, we told how these vendor managed inventory systems and how supplier becomes responsible for item availability of supermarkets. So these kinds of systems enable faster replenishment of inventory. As soon as the stock level goes down, the supplier himself can see and get an idea about at which point they should supply, right? So that there's a fast replenishment process. There are no delays in the replenishment of inventory. What do you mean by replenishment here? Replenishment in simple terms is actually refilling, right? If a stock level goes down, how fast do you refill it, right? So this process can be made faster by the help of technology. Now, otherwise in a traditional setting, when your products in the supermarket shelves go down, you might have to inform your supplier, right? And then supplier will supply to you and there might be communication delays in between. If this information is communicated to them, say with a delay, then the supply of products in return will also be delayed. So these delays can be actually reduced by using these kinds of digital technologies within your supply chain management process. Then the next one, time for new product development. This is also a crucial issue when it comes to the current context. Why? Because now we are actually in a very fast moving environment. There are products with very short life cycles. So you need to reinvent very fast in certain industries. For example, if we take an industry such as say mobile phones, right? So the need to reinvent is very crucial, right? So the product life cycles are very short. So you have to very quickly introduce products to market. In order to be able to do this, you need to make sure that the time that you take for new product development is short as well. If you take a very big time period or if you take a very lengthy time span in order to develop new product, then you might be losing over another competitor who can be faster to the market, right? Your spot will be taken by some other competitor who puts a product faster to the market. So how can we overcome this problem? Improve the availability of information about potential suppliers and components. For example, through online marketplaces, right? Once again, by using digital technologies, you can ensure that there's a better availability of information, or there's a more availability of information regarding potential suppliers and components, for example, through online marketplaces. So when you are using these kinds of online marketplaces, right, you have the ability of looking up the suppliers that you could potentially need for this new product development, right? Maybe you are needing certain raw materials, maybe you are needing certain components or parts for this new product development, maybe even you are needing some sort of consultancy service, right? So by getting yourself involved with these kinds of online marketplaces, right, you can make sure that you always are up to date about the suppliers that are available in these online marketplaces, whom you can easily use in order to help your new product development process, right? And who has the best components that I need in order to produce this product. Likewise, you can get a very good idea by participating yourself in these kinds of online marketplaces, so that you can very instantly find your suppliers, you can instantly source the components you want for the production, and so ultimately the time that is taken for the new product development can be reduced, right? So those are a few problems that we discuss when it comes to the traditional context, and how these problems can be overcome by using digital technologies. I hope those things are clear to you, right? So now we move on to what is supply chain management. So earlier we had a brief idea about what is supply chain management. So now we are going to look at this concept in detail. So before I explain this to you, just take a few minutes and read through what it talks about.